again with our correspondent Balagh Sladin. He joins us from northern Israel with an update. Balagh, we know it's been a very active front for a very long time now throughout this escalation. What is the latest update you can share? What can you tell us?
Yes, the IDF just cleared for publication that 2 IDF soldiers were moderately injured in a yesterday event, apparently in southern Lebanon. They did not state exactly where that happened, but from what we understand, we're talking here about an anti-tank guided missile that was fired by Hezbollah operatives toward a group of Israeli soldiers and injuring 2 of them. They are in a moderate condition. And also the Galilee Medical Center in Nahariya just posted also about this incident, saying that yesterday that happened in the north and 2 patients are hospitalized in a serious condition. That's what the hospital is saying, and that they are being taken care of right now in the intensive care unit. We can add those 2 Israeli soldiers to the 8 that were injured yesterday. Some of them were in a severe conditions, other were in a light condition, and also another number of Israeli soldiers that were injured earlier in this week, meaning that we are seeing that confrontations are happening actually between Hezbollah operatives and the Israeli soldiers, and that's following, of course, Israel's decision to expand the quote-unquote buffer zone that is in southern Lebanon. Israel is not only controlling 5 points now or 5 sites, rather we're talking about 10, and the ground operation is expanding with more and more confrontations happening with Hezbollah operatives.
Hezbollah was, of course, supposed to already have been disarmed. Talk us through the kinds of infrastructure, the terrorist sites that are still being targeted by the IDF as we speak.
Yes, well, we talked also about half an hour ago about an evacuation warning once again to the southern suburb of Beirut, Al-Dahya. Apparently, the Israeli Air Force is going to strike more buildings in that area. That by itself is causing a displacement issue in Lebanon, a displacement crisis. The Lebanese foreign minister is talking about 200,000 people that were displaced in many camps all around Lebanon, and asking for the international community for help. While that is happening, and that by itself is putting pressure on the Lebanese government, Hezbollah, of course, does not care about this. They knew that this is going to come, but they went with their decision anyway. On the other hand, we're seeing that Israel is or was actually very ready for this, striking Hezbollah's launchers and the headquarters that belong to Hezbollah's different units, and even the IRGC units in Lebanon. We know that they have major activities there, and they were actually banned by the Lebanese government just recently. But of course, Hezbollah and Iran and the IRGC are not listening, and they're continuing with their operations.
And Balagh, give us a sense of what this actually means for the northern community. So many people who were living close to that border evacuated during the 2-year war. Many have gone back, many haven't. What does this all mean the last week? What does it mean for people wanting to get back to some kind of routine in that part of the region?
Yes, well, I would say that the community that live right at the border, and also those towns and big cities like Kiryat Shmone that is very close to the border, are the Israeli people that are most suffering actually in this war, because although that we're having sirens here and there, here in the north and maybe, of course, in the center because of missiles coming from Iran, but Hezbollah can actually fire drones and also rockets all day toward those communities, and that's exactly what's happening. The sirens are going off every hour in that area, but in spite of that, we're seeing that the Israeli decision is not to evacuate those people. As said before, I was there actually back in October 2023 when the evacuation happened. That was a strategic mistake, and Israel doesn't want to make this mistake once again. They want to keep those Israeli communities in there, and the Israeli objective is, of course, to protect them. That is exactly why they want to expand the buffer zone, so it would be very difficult for Hezbollah operatives to get closer to that border and fire those rockets and fire those drones. That's why we're seeing that the operation is still apparently in its first stages, but surely the IDF has its plan to make Hezbollah much more far from the border, so it would be difficult for them to attack those communities.
Correspondent Balagh Sladin, live from northern Israel. Thank you very much.